There you are, Keith called from outside the pterodactyl enclosure. Grady was brushing the teeth of a bright orange male, and Keith was leaning against the bars watching. His gray tunic was streaked with mud, and tufts of purple fur were stuck in his specially messy hair. Grady's been keeping me busy while you were gone, Keith explained. I can see that. Sorry, I told you I'd be home later. Yeah, well, my dad started into one of his lectures on the importance of me living up to my potential. Anything's better than that. Plus, it gave me a chance to play with Glitterbutt. Glitterbutt? Way better name than Sylvanie, right? Wait, you've been playing with Sylvanie? It's bizarre, Grady answered for him. I had him help me feed her, since she responded to him last time. Next thing I knew, she was nuzzling his neck, just like she does with you. What can I say? Glitterbutt loves me. Her name is not Glitterbutt. It should be. She likes it better. She does not. Want to bet? I wouldn't do it, Sophie, Grady warned her. She really likes Keith, which is great for us. She's finally accepting another person. But did it have to be Keith? Sophie rushed to Sylvanie's enclosure, and as soon as the gleaming horse spotted her, the transmissions began. Friend, fly, trust, fly. But there was a new word in the mix. Keith. See, I told you she likes me. You don't know that. Actually, I do. I can feel her emotions without touching her, just like I can with yours. I didn't notice it the last time I was around her because I assumed that what I was feeling came from you, but now I can tell the difference. Keith. Hey, Glitterbutt, did you miss me? Keith. Do you realize he's calling you Glitterbutt? Sophie transmitted. She sent a picture of a large sparkly horse hind to illustrate. Glitterbutt, Sylvanie repeated. Keith. Sophie rolled her eyes. If you're jealous because you don't have a cool nickname, we can start calling you Sparkle Fanny, Keith offered. Thanks. I'll pass. Suit yourself. Personally, I insist that you call me Shimmer Booty from now on. Keith, Sylvanie added. Keith, fly. Keith, Glitterbutt. Sophie rubbed her temples, just when she thought the transmissions couldn't get any more annoying. So where were you anyway? Keith asked. Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing, Grady said behind them. When Sophie didn't answer, everyone looked at Sandor. She was perfectly safe, he assured them. I went to see Counselor Tarek, Sophie said, before Grady could grill Sandor further. I'd asked him to help me find my old human thing so I could pick up something. Is that a diary? Keith asked as Sandor handed her the sparkly journal. He tried to snatch it, but Sophie yanked it away just in time. I wrote it when I was 5. All the entries are like 3 sentences long, and they were just me plotting to annoy my sister. Who doesn't want to know more ways to annoy people? Trust me, you already know them all. She caught Grady frowning at her. It was fine, she promised. There's nothing in the journal that could get me exiled. And Counselor Tarek's not like that anyway. He even took off his crown before he checked through the journal. His circlet is merely a representation of his power, with or without it. I know, I'll be careful. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on her for the rest of the day, Keith said, offering a cheesy salute as he hooked an arm through Sophie's. Somehow Grady didn't look comforted as Keith led her away. Don't you dare, Sophie said, blocking Keith as he tried to flop on her bed. You smell like a wet rat. You can sit on the floor. He laughed and scooped up Iggy, scratching his fuzzy head. Bet she treats you this way too, huh? Like it's your fault your breath smells like something died inside you. Iggy squeaked and nuzzled Keith's hand. Sophie had to give him credit. He had a way with animals. So, now that we're alone, are you going to tell me what's really in the Rainbow Unicorn Diary thing? And by the way, that's the kind of awesome stuff I'd been hoping for. Please feel free to go get some more so I can make fun of it. Sophie sank to her bed with a sigh. I'd hoped it had a clue in it. I can remember writing something in the margin, but of course the pages I needed had been torn out. She flipped to the section with the jagged scraps of paper. Torn out by who? And aren't you supposed to have a photographic memory? Sophie explained about Mr. Forkle and the strange gaps in her memory. Clearly, there's something they don't want me to find. Okay, that's just whoa. I mean, how do you deal with that and, go to school and hang with your friends and act so calm? I'd be running to Elwyn screaming, someone stole my memories, get them back. Elwyn can't help, she said, dropping the useless journal on the floor and kicking it away. No one can. Actually, that's where you're wrong. I knew you were going to need me. You got a pencil around here? She pointed to her school satchel, and he rifled through and pulled out her silver pencils. Then he snatched the journal and started to plop down next to her. Nope, stinky boy, sit on the floor. Sheesh, ungrateful much? He asked as he sank to the flowery carpet. He tilted the book a number of angles, then grabbed a pencil and started to shade the margin with the side of the point. If you pressed hard enough as you wrote, we'll still see the impression in the next page. Trust me, this trick has come in handy many times. Sophie had no doubt of that as she squinted at the faint white curves and squiggles Keefe had traced. Her heart stuttered as the marks twisted into words. I'm guessing this is a good sign, Keefe said as she scrambled for a notebook to write the message down. A boy who disappeared. Should have figured it would have something to do with a boy. I was 5, Keefe. What, and cute boys didn't exist when you were 5? Well, it's true you hadn't met me yet, but... Sophie tuned him out as an image resurfaced in her mind. The same vague symbols she'd seen before, similar to the one on Brant's shirt. But she could see more of the scene now. It was like her mind had zoomed out and she could tell that it was a crest on the shoulder of someone leaning against a tree. She ran to her desk, grabbed her memory log, and projected the blurry scene before it slipped away. Is that a Bramble jersey? Keefe asked, peeking over her shoulder. A what? Wait, is that the game you and Fitz were playing? Sorta. We were playing the one-on-one version. There's a team version too, and every 3 years we have a championship match. They print special jerseys, and everyone who's into the game buys like 10 of them and wears them all the time. That one was from 8 years ago, Sophie guessed. Yeah, I think it was, but wait, is this your memory? I think so. She sank to the floor as the room started spinning. But 8 years ago, you were still living with humans. I know. She was living with humans and had no idea elves existed. Her telepathy hadn't even manifested. And yet, if her blurry memories were right, she'd somehow seen a boy in a blue Bramble jersey. A boy who disappeared.